cellular telephone?
Smartphone.
I still use a Motorola StarTAC.
I use a rotary phone, the one that's right back there. Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
Wait for it. Delightful Dylan.
Wait for it.
Love of humanity.
That means you have love of humanity or you are the love of humanity. Which one is it?
You picked.
That's for you.
It's like a choose your own adventure. All right, guys.
Chose poorly.
Welcome to yet another episode of our Ultimate Spirits Competition, our quest to review every sipping spirit on the face of the planet and subject it to our crazy horde scoring
100.
Scoring system. Yeah, it's 100 points, and Jules will tell you guys all about it in just a little bit, but we got to talk about what we're sipping today, and I'm actually kind of excited about this because we got a new kid on the block, Bardston Bourbon, finally putting out their own distillate and their own distillate alone.
Whoa. Time out. Here's the thing. Should I do a straight talk with Dylan?
Do it.
All right. There's a half straight talk with Dylan.
There's a half talk with Dylan.
Yeah, half talk with Dylan. Dutch,
Yes.
I seem to remember back in the day you were saying, like, I'm done with Bardstown. And you were like, I'm not going to review Bardstown anymore. Because we were spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on there.
We did the Discovery Series, drink through it, and I just got a little burnt out. But that doesn't mean I'm not excited to try their own distillate by itself for the first time.
All right.
You know? Hey, somebody's putting something new out. I want to see how it is. And you know what? We got a lot of info on the label, which again, I'm going to give them props for. You know what? I don't have a cold heart, Dylan. I can be I can be won back over, you know that.
I have no problem by saying I do have a
I know, that's why I said it. Let's take a look at the bottle here. This is the Bardstown Bourbon Company Origin Series. This is the straight bourbon. It comes at us at 48% alcohol, 96 proof, and then on the side here you can see that it is 100% 6-year-old Bardstown Bourbon Company distillate. It is 60% corn, 36% rye, and 4% barley. And this was distilled fall 2016. So we have a 6-year age statement, a pretty high rye mash bill. Mm-hmm. So it's not maybe as old as we would like to see for a Kentucky bourbon at. I think, you know, we usually tend to think 7 to 10 years would be where we'd really ideally want to see something. But hey, who knows? 6, maybe they hit the magic.
Yeah, but I think you see a lot of these, like, craft, quote unquote craft distillers coming out with like their 3-year. Remember I sent you that video? We're not going to say where or who, but they were like, oh my gosh, this 3-year bourbon is amazing. And I go, no, it is not. So let's see. I am curious.
Let me get us poured. You tell us a little more. You got like price point on this and all that?
I don't, but I do know that this is the first time, or this is like the beginning, finally, of Bardstown. The way I look at it is all the stuff that they released before, it was like a tease.
Doesn't even
right?
matter.
Like the Fusion series, they kind of mixed a couple of this and that, and like whatever. I never purchased it, but we tried the Discovery series, but it was always like, I don't know what this is gonna be or where this is gonna go. I was just, not that excited. But this, finally, this is this is where they're supposed to shine, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is where they're supposed to show us what they are.
Price point, we paid $45 for this bottle.
45.
So, we are going to get tasting, we're going to score it, and then we'll be right back to discuss our scores with you guys. By the way, guys, so for members of Curiosity Private here on YouTube or over on Patreon, we're going to be releasing a special video for you guys wherein we're going to be comparing this brand new bourbon to a well-established bourbon that's on the market for a long time, Elijah Craig. Why are we doing these two is, I don't know what's happening to Dylan. It's kind of because of the proof point. They're kind of similar here. I believe this one is, what is this, 96?
96.
And this is 94. And Elijah Craig is out there. It's been here for a long time. Let's see how the new kid compares. And I don't know what Dylan was doing, but let's get back to tasting.
Shake that.
I think Dylan's having a true meltdown over there.
A rough go. Huh. A week.
my god. How do I do this?
Are you alright, Dylan?
I really shouldn't be doing this. I'm giving this the benefit of the doubt here, and I'm just trying.
All right, we've had some time to taste. We've all scored this. We haven't discussed our scores. We haven't looked at each other's scores. We don't know what the other guys have scored it at all. Dylan's even gotten another glass and is continuing to nose, but you're ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, Jules, why don't you tell everybody first about our scoring system?
That's right. We have a 100-point system of 10 categories that include aroma, flavor, body, complexity, balance, finish, uniqueness, drinkability, aesthetics, and value. We do weigh flavor at 20 points and the aesthetics and value at 5 points each. And you can medal in our competition. You score at 60 and above, and you go from bronze, silver, gold to diamond.
All right, guys, let's get our initial scores. Now, of course, we're going to talk about every single category, so our scores could change as we go through this, but our initial scores are going to be revealed to you right now. My initial score, 63.
59.
61.
Okay, we're definitely clustered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right around there, so I don't think any of us had a different experience. Let's kick off the discussion with aroma. Dylan, you keep
nosing.
Why don't you
We
give
gotta
us
start
your
with
score first?
So
Give us
I
your score.
initially gave it a 6, and then I did go up to a weak 7.
Jules, what's your score?
My initial 6.
Same, 6.
Yeah, I want you to know this. I want you to. This is why I did this, because I wanted to give it the benefit of the
wider
doubt. Yeah,
breath.
because I thought I got some hints with the Glencairn, and I wanted to thin it out. In fact, I was gonna just pour it on the table like Dutch does, and just have and smell it, because I think
I don't get anything.
there's a lot of subtlety.
I don't get. You have to dig.
And it's pleasant, but
Yes.
I don't get wood. I don't get jam. I don't get
This is something that-
stewed fruit. I don't get any of those things. It's just kind of one or two notes of flour, and
But it feels like there's something else there.
yeah, that's why I
And
want.
this is something that I think is going to carry through this entire experience, which is
There's
I
a
feel like
base.
this needed to be 100 to 110 proof.
Really?
Is it helping?
No. It's not. It's still
Because
muted.
there's something there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying. Smell the rag.
It's not the red.
Chloroform. Oh gosh, that's
think-
fucked up a lot of nasty
I
stuff.
think.
Yeah, but then doesn't that's
I'm
already
waffling.
that's
I'm
a
waffling
telltale
here.
right
Should
there.
I go
You're
back down to
searching,
6?
You're digging, dude.
I mean, I think anywhere between a 6 and
but
a
I
7
get
is
it.
fair.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I was tempted to be a little higher, but
Because there's a strong enough base, but it's just like there isn't enough.
The reason I'm gonna stick with
highlight.
the 7 is because
it's not
I
bad.
don't get the grain.
It's not off-putting,
I don't
yeah.
get the grain that is off-putting.
Yeah.
That you often see in like some of the craft distillery up and coming ones, and so yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 7. I think 7 is fair. I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's
yeah.
move on to flavor 14.
12.
13.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're pretty clustered. You know what? It's weird. I was writing down some tasting notes, and at the end of this, you know what I wrote down?
What?
A Pilsner beer.
Yes.
Because it's like
I agree with you.
It's not.
I agree with you.
It's not punchy. It's pleasant. There's nothing really wrong with it, but it's also kind of boring. But
Yeah.
it's still good. Like,
Yeah.
I had a hard time writing down a number.
So the
I
way
did too,
I ended up thinking about how would I replicate the flavor profile here, and the best thing I could think of is, sometimes I was thinking about some of the sweetness that I see in hot toddies, where it's diluted to a degree and
It's thin.
and I feel like I would take like a caramel stick and just kind of put it in water and thin it out a little bit. That's the flavor that I'm getting. It doesn't have the depth that I would like. I don't have the depth in the part of the spectrum where I often see the jam and the stewed fruits. It's definitely missing in that regard. And yet, what I liked about this is that it didn't have the grain.
Yes.
I agree. So one of the biggest things or
that's why-
gripes that we have about these up and coming, it's like grain is equated to good, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
And that's why I keep going back to this. I feel like it's on such a good track, but
Yeah.
it just needed, I think, a little bit
4
longer.
years.
Well, it needed like 1 or 2 more years, and I think it needs to be a
100.
little bit higher proof.
100 proof.
100 proof. Yeah, I agree. And I think then they really got something. I wanted to give it more. Jules, you're going to stick with your 12? That seems awfully low. That's very low.
No. So I started with, because like I like the base, right? So okay, right
Yeah,
off the
but
bat
you
it gets
like
10
it.
points, and then I added.
I don't know, man. I think if you like the
So-
flavors, you should be more at a 15.
I don't know. Part of it is just because a lot of it is muted, right? And in fact, I was trying to figure out things that stood out more for me, and then so I did write down. I was getting like a concentrate of like apricot and cinnamon, but it's like I felt like I had to reach for those even. That's
Yeah.
why like I docked it because it's like
I don't know, man. It's so weird.
not- You know
what it is?
Pilsner light beer to me, it's just like...
right, but it's like what are you tasting at?
I know.
You know what I mean?
get it.
So it's
I
like,
get it.
yeah.
But to me,
I feel-
I'm pretty impressed with that.
No, I
And the
feel-
fact that there's no grain, I had to give it credit. And I
Yeah,
give it here.
exactly that. It's
Yeah.
just the
I get
surprise
that.
part, ironically, is the lack of grain.
missing-
Because we've had so much craft and like small distillery
You know why?
totes and all these other.
It's not MGP.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you don't get that grain. One of the other things, like I was gonna say, was yes, I agree with the apricot or apricot, but
Very
it's
thinned out.
It's
Yeah.
like
I'm reaching.
I feel like I get the sugar component, like the fructose of apricot, but then the rest of the fruit is gone.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly. I'm
kinda like
reaching, man.
It's
like an essence of
yeah,
apricot.
there's an
You know what I
essence.
mean?
There's an
And
essence.
I've really come down to this, like just a few proof points higher.
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
think
I'm
you
with you on
concentrate
that.
these
You can
flavors
get
just a little bit more,
then it'll
and I
boost it,
think you
yeah.
got something.
Now, having said that, though, there are other bourbons out there at this proof that still have all of the flavors. And
Maybe you'll add your credit. We'll see.
yeah, so we'll see.
All right, let's move on to body. I waffled a bit on this. I ended up at a 6.
6.
6.
Yeah, it's
Dutch's favorite number.
6, 6, 6.
not a lot to say. It's fine. It's a little better than average. And
Yeah.
it's okay. Right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. Moving on to complexity. This was just so 2-note to me. It's 6.
I only wrote down 2 notes, so yeah 6.
6.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's 2.
this is gonna be a
It's
really
amazing.
quick review.
No, it's really interesting because the number that comes to your mind is 2.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for me. It's
Yeah.
like 2.
Yeah.
2. All right, moving on to balance. 6.
6.
Very easy to
I
balance.
gave it a 7 because there were only 2 things to balance. And I didn't think they did terribly. And the fact that there was no weird tannic, wood, grain.
The reason I didn't go any higher was I did get a slight sourness towards the finish that I don't know. I felt like I needed a little bit more intensity in the flavors to really balance that one out. I don't know. It's muted a bit more as I've been tasting it, so I may come back to this.
Muted to me, man.
I think I could see that, like you taking points away from the finish, but not necessarily the balance.
Let me think about this. I think I'm going to say.
Let's see what your finish score is.
All right, let's move on to finish then, guys. Well, here's interesting: is it's not for the flavor, but it's for the length. I did give it a 7. It does last quite a long time.
I don't know. It was mid to short range for me. I give it a 6.
I give it a 5.
Wow, I can still
I can
taste
see
it.
that.
I
This
could
is
see
not-
that because I was waffling on my 6.
I can still taste it. Like this is an impressively long finish for me. It's not anything interesting, but it's there, and I had to give it credit for the duration alone. It's very impressive. Like it's still lingering on my palate.
Well, what's lingering for me is kind of the ethanol.
I'm not getting that. I'm getting that subtle apricot sweetness lingering,
finish?
and I'm actually enjoying the long finish of this.
Oh, man,
I don't know. A different experience for you guys, obviously. But.
I'd say I think it's right in the middle.
Yeah, a little bit above.
I mean, I
stick with
don't.
my
I'm
6.
not
Not
giving it a
convinced.
4 because it's not about the length. It's more. It's not unpleasant.
Yeah.
Like the finish isn't unpleasant. It's
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
That's what it is.
Like I said, it really the points for me are for duration and the fact that there wasn't anything off-putting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is in this day and age, you need that's a big ask. That's why I think it's a 7. Okay, guys, let's move on to uniqueness. I'm actually going to bump this up from a 6 to a 7 because
I'm tempted to do the same thing only because the fact that you're right. I mean, I'm
no
not
grain.
getting grain
And
on this for a new
brand.
offering without grain.
6 years old.
All right, you convinced me.
So what do
Or
you
I
got?
convinced myself.
I gave it
7.
a 5. I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5, and I understand that because it was an ethical dilemma for me, right? Because do you bump up uniqueness if distilleries can't get the grain out, right? And do you get this kind of
I mean,
weird?
it's a moving target. It's a moving
Well,
target.
you get in some of these distilleries, you get like these two parallel flavors going at it at the same time. You have this very unaged, harsh, grainy distillate that tastes like White Dog, and then you have the rich, dark fruit flavor, jam flavors that sometimes meld together and creates this weird chaos, right? This is like, it doesn't have that harshness. It doesn't have that grain.
Yeah.
It has what we typically see in traditional bourbon flavor, but therein lies the problem. In terms of uniqueness, it's not that unique.
But again, like I said, it's a moving target. In today's world, if I'm putting this in the classification of a new brand, putting out a new bourbon, I think it's actually unique because what everybody's doing right now is like, oh, there's a lot of grain.
Wait, so you're giving it like an extra point for being new?
I give it an extra point for not
in its class. I'm rating it in its weight class. I think it's better than average.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I don't know, man.
Think about all the new brands we've tried. This actually stands out from them. It really does because there's not that grain hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll bump it. I'll bump it up to 6.
All right,
Yeah,
there we
you
go.
convinced me. All right.
Let's move on to drinkability 6.
I give it a 7.
I give it a 7. I give it a 7.
I had a 6 because of that.
This is drinkable.
Slight
man.
sour
Again, with-
thing.
No, I didn't get the sour.
I didn't get it at
I didn't get the
all,
sour, and
so-
it's again no grain, right? And it's just it's
get the
kind
sour.
of like
At the back end of the palate, I get a little touch of sour, and it's just enough to be slightly off-putting.
if somebody gave this to me, I'd be like, I don't know what this is. I can't identify.
But you can say-
I can't
classify it, but
identify
I keep
this. But like,
drinking it.
I wouldn't say,
keep
oh
drinking
my
it.
gosh,
this
this
guy.
is
He
uniquely.
finishes his glass.
Yeah, so your number should be higher than.
All right, guys, let's move on to aesthetics. I just really like the motif, the white motif. I give it a 4.
I give it a 4.
I get that. I give it a 3.
Yeah, I could see it. It's a weak 4, strong 3.
What's the weight of the cork?
It's
The topper?
not great. You know, we did the whole
And
discovery. It's plastic.
Plastic.
Right. Oh, okay. So it went.
But I've always thought they have a good design. They give you a lot
It
of
is
info
sexy
on the
looking.
bottle. They give you info. They give you the mash bill.
Yeah.
You have to give credit there.
That's true.
They hand wrote when it was distilled.
Or is it printed?
It might be printed, but it looks like it's
But,
handwritten.
I mean, I like the mash, but you're absolutely right. I'll go up one.
Yeah. And the age statement. I mean, in this day and age,
In this day and age,
statement
age
and mash
statement's
bill.
rare. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
All right. So you're at a 4? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, final category, value. I waffled a lot.
This was really tough.
Yeah, $45. I gave it a 2.
High.
I gave it a 2.
It's high. I give it a 1.
I gave it a 1.
I understand the 1. I do. But at the end of the
what
day,
you're
it's like
getting
a
at,
lot of
but-
these things that are coming out, if they came out with this today, they'd price it at $50, $60. And I just think that I kind of respect the price point. Honestly, I think it should be closer to like
45 is
30,
MSRP?
40.
That's what we paid for?
believe so.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's.
It's close. I get the 1.
I don't.
It's a soft 2 for me.
I mean, obviously, I unfortunately cannot put this on my shelf, right? I mean, there's limited space, and it doesn't provide.
Weak proof.
More important than your shelf is Jules' shelf. Jules, would you put this on your shelf?
That's the thing. I think I would. Which is why I'm kind of waffling.
Wow.
Okay.
Even though I don't like
think
the
it's a 2
price.
anyway you
I
cut it.
know, exactly. That's why I'm
mean,
like,
Think about all the other stuff out there. Think about Frey Ranch. Think about Wilderness
That's the thing.
Trail.
I think I'd rather grab a free ranch, and I have. I have like 2 of
more
those.
expensive.
I know.
Like I
The
said,
question is,
I think it's a close call.
how about
It
this?
is.
How about this? I go to your house. Would you pour this for me?
No, because I know you'd be
There you go.
offended. But that doesn't answer anything.
For what it
It
is,
answers something.
for what it is,
And I would say,
That answers nothing.
For
You
what
all
it
know
is.
that too.
No.
for what it is, I don't think it's crazy price. I don't think it's a crazy price.
Yeah, it just felt high.
what did I open
what
for?
you-
What did I open for you at our barbecue? Well, 107.
Yeah,
That's a better $45 pour that you can't find anywhere.
but you can't find
Yeah.
it.
Are you gonna change it?
No, I'm gonna hold off.
All right, guys, let's get our final tallies here. My final score for this bottle: 64.
61.
62.
Which gives us our Ultimate Spirits Competition official score for Bardstown Origin Series Straight Bourbon Whiskey. I think a decently respectable 62.
That's really good.
That's a good
That's
score.
really good.
They medaled.
For middle shelf, dude.
I mean, like, think about the Olympics. If you get a bronze medal in the Olympics, that's pretty amazing.
amazing.
And this is basically
think
the
if you
Olympics.
just even
You're like
got into
third
the
best in the
qualifier.
world.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Third best in the world. Sorry, it just registered right now what that meant. But I guess thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know how you feel. What?
He's getting his appendicitis.
You're in pain. Oh man. Subscribe for more videos. If you want to help us out, Curiosity Private, the membership program here. We're also on Patreon. We are selling t-shirts.
Look at them laughing at my pain.
Of course.
We also have a podcast on the major podcast platforms out there. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious.
About Dylan's page.
This happened last time too. You need some
Pulled something, man. He pulled something.
some salt.
Throw some rye on
Not
it.
bad.
Pretty good showing, man.
I'm optimistic.
First out the gate.
I'm actually very optimistic. I have to say hats off because I've been so disappointed over and over again.
Release? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like it's not disappointing, but it's not impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, which is
I mean,
okay.
like,
It's a
this-
Pilsner beer, dude. It's a Pilsner beer.
That was a great.
I mean,
Totally.
I
fine.
could see like if at this rate, at 10 years, at 100 proof, man, it could be.
Oh, yeah.
It could be amazing. So